Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Williams.
Present.
Trustee Brooks.
Present.
Trustee Jenkins Bell.
Present.
Trustee Franklin.
Present.
Trustee Bolden.
Present.
Trustee Mayor Rudez.
Here.
Trustee McMullen.
Okay, you have a quorum at this point in time, and pursuant to our rules, trustee McMullen wants to participate via phone.
Right.
So, is he, trustee McMullen?
Okay, present.
That is his voice, identify that as him.
Okay, that is trustee's voice, identified as trustee Curtis McMullen. Pledge, stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Anybody from the general public? Nobody from the general public? Nobody signed in, okay. Action items E1A, first, second, and third readings, and ordinance approving a redevelopment agreement by and between the Village of University Park, Will County, Illinois, and Bluebird 57 LLC. Is there a motion? So moved. Moved by trustee Franklin.
Second.
Second by trustee Jenkins.
Question.
Question? That's his background.
He's gonna have to be where.
He's on the train.
Yeah.
Or hit the speaker off on the two.
No.
No, he has to mute his phone.
We don't need it.
Question?
It's not working. Can you hear me? Okay. Loud? Okay. Mayor, I know we got, well, I didn't get this until 10:09, but I would like, this is a $75 million deal that I would like to see go through. However, I got a couple issues that I think, and my question that I asked the board members, did they get a chance to look at it? Because there are at least 1, 2, 3, 4 points that I had actually went through alone that I know that as a board, we had discussed. And so, you know, again, I would like to see this go through. I do have some concerns though, and I know it's up for first, second, and third reading. I would just want to make a motion to at least table until the first board meeting. I would like to have if we can, at least a dialogue on my part, at least some of my items, about 4 items. I thought Kathy Moore would be here, but if I can with Michael, our attorney. And if you want me to at least bring up one why I'm making this motion is that on one, section 1.8, if the trustees can turn to it, I know that we're discussing of giving the developer, or he's going to give us $1 million. Did we get a chance to talk with the school taxing body about this?
I believe what that is that there would be $1 million that would be loaned to the village and then repaid over a 2 or 3 year period, 2-year period.
Okay, I'm not yielding yet, Mayor, I'm not yielding yet. Would that be an issue with the taxing bodies, because I know we're talking about a TIF? You know, would they have an issue on it? Because on this, if I'm not mistaken, when I looked at it in section 4.1, we would pay this back to him, the developer, make sure, yeah, we would give it back to the developer, but, you know, even then, I still have an issue with that because, you know, he does keep 100% of that, so that means 100% of the tax, then he gets 75, he keeps 75% of that tax increment. But then here we go again, I have it right here, where I was a little confused because I went back on my notes. And that's why I was hoping Kathy Orr was here today, because Kathy Orr, you wasn't here, Council, where, 15 years right here. This is a 20-year deal.
Well, and Trustee, you're absolutely right. And due to the nature of the developer and who the developer is, the conduit people, it's expanded 5 extra years, but they're going to be here for a long, long time. They're going to be here for a long, long time.
I know, man, but that's, again, we're talking about the taxes. The taxpayers made it clear. And I know the developers here, and if we want to, Mayor, I'll yield the time, but, again, we're diving right into it. I even see here 4.1.
Time is of the essence on this project.
That's why I say that, well, when did they have this agreement done? Because asking me to make a $75 million decision in 7 hours.
Okay. If I can respond.
Just 1 second, Mr. Good. Mr. Good. I'm just asking you to support the development, but and Mr. Good, and I want to move forward.
I'll show you, man. I do support it. I'm talking about legal language that I don't want to get into a jail. Trustee Franklin, even when we had looked at this last development, this agreement is it's not the same as this one. And I understood Kathy Orr. That's why I wanted her here.
Go ahead, Mr. Good.
But go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to comment on, you made several points, Alderman, so let me comment on, of all of them, actually. The $75 million that's in there is not your investment with us. That's the minimum investment we're committing to build and invest in University Park. The actual investment will be well above that in terms of the equipment that this user, we're calling Condor, who everybody here now knows who it is, in essence, is making inside the building. So that $75 million is not something the village or the TIF area is giving us. That's the minimum commitment we're making to invest in the community. And I'm stating that it will be significantly higher than that when this building is completed, but we want to make sure that we're going to hit the minimum, but it'll be, I can tell you right now, it'll be well above that, okay? Number two, we're not asking for the village to loan us $1 million. The way that it's working pursuant to the TIF laws is that the village will charge us a $1 million impact fee, okay? We will pay that impact fee when we pull our first permit. So the village will receive $1 million from us personally. That $1 million was expressed to us by the mayor and others that you're in need of ambulances, fire engines, police cars. We went to our client and our partner and said the village does not have adequate fire equipment, police equipment, or ambulances to service the 1,000 employees you're going to bring here. Because if someone gets ill there and the ambulance is not sufficient, if you don't have enough ambulances, if someone gets hurt within this facility, that's a negative impact for our user and could influence them as to whether or not they want to come to a community that doesn't have proper fire equipment, ambulances, or police service vehicles. So what we've agreed to do is pay an impact fee to the village of $1 million immediately so you can go out and buy that equipment for your village. That's what it's designated, and it states that specifically in the agreement. What we ask in return is that as we pay taxes going forward in the TIF district, that out of the remaining 25% that's there, that those dollars are used to repay us for these eligible costs for this impact fee that we're paying. So that all we're asking to do is we're willing to front the money to the village to buy the equipment that you say you need to properly service us. All we're asking is that since the village always look for, well, how do we spend the money that's left in the TIF district? This is not village money. So we're letting you, but the reality is that money will then be used to repay the money we're spending for this impact fee. So that's how that's being set up there. The user is making this, honestly, $100+ million investment here, and came to us and said, we're putting a lot of equipment here, we're planning to be here a long time. They asked you to come back to the mayor and the board and see whether or not we can go to the 20 years. And by doing that, they then said, if they'll consider doing that and go that extra time, we'll come up with this additional $1 million for the village to buy this equipment. So the way we're looking at it is a win-win for everybody. You get new fire, and $1 million, I think, a bunch of fire, cars and equipment and everything else. And again, we've never really done that before with the village, where we paid money up front for equipment bought by the village, but this is something that was expressed to us that's needed by the board, and we said, you know what, we'll do that if you would consider going to 20 years. And so that's the way that came about. We're looking to be good partners here. Concern came up about the equipment, and we came up with a solution. I think it's a good solution. I can answer any other questions you might have.
Okay, Mr. Good, first of all, you said that you came back to us. Did you come to us directly and for the 20 years? Because I don't remember you coming back. I remember us voting for 17 years on on this format that you said trust you on, right? That you came in, right? Did you need me to pull up the date?
No, that's okay, sir. I understand what you're asking, and we were in a meeting last week.
No, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do, sir.
Okay, so on top of that, you did not come back to this board. You may have came back to the mayor. I have not talked to the village manager, because again, this is 7 hours that I just seen this agreement. Number 2, let me say something. We do need vehicles, and in reference to the fire department, we don't need more engines. We need a new fire station over there. That's what we needed. That's why I said that I would like to have a conversation with, at least, this conversation should expand a little bit.
If someone on the board can answer, because we're providing $1 million. You can use it however you wish to use it. It's at your discretion.
Go ahead, manager. Go ahead.
What we're talking about, we'd even seen a location, we're looking at the land that's right off Central, sits on the north east corner of Central and University Park. We're looking at the cost of building another fire station over there for the for the industrial TIF district. We're looking at buying 2 police vehicles. We're looking at buying, based on the work and the lights over there, possibly the boom truck for the public works. We're looking at buying for the inspectors, the code enforcement car. And we've got estimates, and I'm asking staff to bring to me breakdowns on government cost on these. And thus far, I have 1.5. I have the police department and part of the fire. So, and I got the one from Public Works too. So it's all within the scope of this $1 million. This is strictly what we had talked about doing. So this way we can do it that way. And when we pay this money back to them, we'll have 2 years to do it, and we'll pay it out of the 25% administrative fee that the village in fact has a right to. They have 75, we have 25. So that was the intent. That way we don't have to go to the bank or whatever else, and we need it now. So we do this deal, bam, we sign it, we got a check, and we can move forward. And that's the way we're strategizing to do it.
Did we talk to the schools about this?
About the reduction.
Because this is, no.
You mean
did we
for the
talk about
public
this
hearing?
that we're about to do? Did we even talk about, because the most, I understand you saying this is a loan, but Madam Village Manager, let me go once again. Who up here on this board had a conversation with Mark Good and knew about this? Before 10:09, who knew about this?
Myself, the manager, Mark, this happened right after our tour. So
Real
I'm just
fast,
gonna-
we had to find some
it
way.
was a decision that had to be made right away. We got
provided
the construction
it to
schedule
maybe-
started to April the 1st, and I'm just gonna ask for a roll call, Madam Clerk, to cut off conversation. Let's move forward.
Wait, no, order, Mayor. I had a motion on the floor
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor. Okay.
Table.
to table until the first, because I think this is a discussion that needs to be done. And again, Mayor, I'm for this, I just disagree with a couple things that's in here. Specifically, it says limitation to
There's a motion on the
ambulances
floor.
and fire trucks. So, hey,
It's a compromise, trustees.
I understand, Mayor. I wish
Do we have a second?
somebody should talk to me.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Okay, I had wrote myself also. At one point, we did say 15 years, I thought I was 15, but it was 17 years.
Right.
And now we're asking And why did you say we're asking for the 20 now, Mr. Good?
The user Condor came to us and said they're investing more money. First of all, the building increased from 650,000 square feet to 1 million square feet. So they're making the additional investment they're making in the community is about 50, I'm sorry, I'd be happy to speak.
Go ahead, finish talking to trustee vote.
The user that we're bringing in, Condor, which is different than the other user, it's the same user, but a different facility for them. The other facility, their investment was about $100 million. That's a lot of money. The investment when they're done here is going to be somewhere in the $140 to $150 million. They're making an additional investment of 50% greater than where they were before. So they're looking at saying, we're making a much larger investment into the community. The building will be significantly larger. The taxes on this building will be significantly more. And they're saying because they're making this significantly larger investment, they'd like to have the TIF extended this additional 3 years to 20 years to help compensate them for the additional investment they're making in the community. In discussing it with the mayor and with Kathy Orr, the counter to that was, in the meeting was, we need equipment here. And I went back to them quickly and said, and you didn't ask for $1 million, you asked for a few vehicles and things, and said, you know what, they're really working with us here. I would suggest that you come up with $1 million. And it was more than what we were at. What?
2 is not enough. We run 2 shifts, it's not enough.
I'm sorry, sir, I'm just saying. I'm sorry.
That's not enough, man.
I'm sorry, I think that, I'm sorry. It was, we were requested to help with a fire truck and a couple of vehicles. We felt that would be in the range of $500,000. Could be more. That's what we felt it might be. I went to my client and I said, hey, would you consider providing, in good faith, $1 million and let them spend that money however they wish to spend it on vehicles and on whatever they need to spend it on to make this village a better village to help service their employees here and their business. And the ask is that we go from 17 to 20 years of repayment in the TIF area. That's how that went. They then said yes, they would do that, and I asked for that compromise between the two parties because the village needs something in the $1 million for vehicles or equipment or a fire station, which would benefit the industrial area. And the benefit on the other end, they're investing an additional 40 or 50 million in the community, and they thought it would be good if they did that with this $1 million that the TIF be extended to 20 years rather than the 17. So that's how that came about. I think it's a fair, my personal opinion, it's a fair compromise. I've never seen a user pay an impact fee of this size.
All right, thank you, Mr.
That's
Good.
my comment.
Thank you. Motion failed, no one seconded. That question, trustee?
I say thanks for clarifying.
You can ask for a second.
I'd like to.
Go ahead, trustee Williams.
I'd like to ask the attorney, our attorney, what do you think about this deal?
I wasn't the one that negotiated it. Kathy Orr worked with them. I believe it's in the same realm that you previously had, except for the additional 3 years.
That's it?
I think the last time when you approved this, I think you approved it at 17 years, a master agreement for the 75%.
Okay, so you're saying that everything that we got now is just the difference in 17 and 20?
It's a 3
And $1 million.
So it's
What
the
is
same.
the additional, what the additional is
$1
the 3 years,
So-
you went from 17 to 20 years for them to recapture 75% of the TIF funds,
So it's
along
the
with
same,
an impact fee of $1 million, which gets paid back out of the 25%.
so
which
it's
is what
the
I
same
referred
thing
to
that
as.
Kathy said in
Yes.
the beginning?
No, she never said nothing about
Yes,
it.
yes,
No,
It's just the years.
she never, the impact fee is new.
The impact fee is new, and
And
so is the 20 years.
Section
So is
1.4.1,
there a second to the motion?
the city have been paying it. Why we
Madam
got Northern Bank? Why Northern Bank? Why we can't pay them, Mayor? That's all I want
Trustee,
to
there's
know.
not a second to your motion. The motion failed. Madam Clerk, roll call.
I make a motion to override the decision of the chair so I can finish my statement. I have the right to finish what I was saying. I'm not obstructing, I'm just saying we need to make
You
sure.
don't have a motion, trustee. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
This is to approve.
Yes.
Trustee Williams,
Both sides.
trustee Brooks,
Votel no.
trustee Jenkins Bell,
Happily votes aye.
Trustee Franklin,
Vote side.
trustee Bolden,
Both sides.
trustee McMullen, is he still? Trustee McMullen. Mayor Rudis.
Vote aye for economic development.
Mr. Mayor, that's ordinance 2020-04.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion for adjournment?
So,
Motion by trustee Williams,
Second.
second by trustee Jenkins. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.